Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News. Good Morning Las Vegas.
Right now on Good Morning Las Vegas, controversy continues following Judge Brett Kavanaugh's hearing yesterday. The latest from Capitol Hill. A wild chase has suspects and officers going through a local park, and it's all caught on camera. What police say started the whole thing. And honoring Burt Reynolds, how you can celebrate the actor's life with family and friends. Good Morning Las Vegas, I'm Tom George.
And I'm 13 First Alert meteorologist Dan Bronis. You know, summer looks like it may be coming to an end, Tom.
Finally, it's been a long time coming. You know, almost 100 and pushing October.
We hit 100 yesterday.
Wow,
yeah, we did it. Yeah, so a little late in the year to do that, but we did it. But you know what? There is relief in sight. Now, take a look outside. It's pretty dark still. It's early in the morning, though. Go figure. Temperatures kind of mild this morning. Temperatures didn't drop a whole lot. Current temperatures currently sitting into the 80s and 70s around Las Vegas. 81 right now. That's the official at McCarran. Sitting at 76 in Henderson, 79 degrees out in North Las Vegas. We've got clear skies out there with winds. Not really too bad. So just, you know, one of those mornings you may not want to spend a whole lot of time outside. Your day planner not looking great. Wind speeds picking up a little bit into the afternoon, 22 miles per hour at 4 o'clock. We're going to see winds finally taper off a little bit into the evening, but it is going to be a windy day with those temperatures once again back in the upper 90s, but at least it will not be 100. There's the good news, but those winds sticking around over the next couple of days because Hurricane Rosa is actually going to be moving into the desert Southwest, and that is changing our weather, not just one way, but a lot of different ways. We're going to take a look at how much rain, yes, rain, we could actually see here in Las Vegas.
All right, thanks, Dan. Well, a whirlwind week on Capitol Hill, a last-minute request from a Republican senator now spurring the president to reopen the FBI investigation into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. ABC's Emily Rao is in Washington with the latest.
Just when it looked like there was no turning back, a last-minute surprise from Republican Senator Jeff Flake.
I think it would be proper to delay the floor vote.
Flake calling for an FBI investigation before he'd agree to advance the nomination. Hours before, two women cornering Flake in an elevator after he said he planned to support Kavanaugh.
So you're telling all women in America that they don't matter, they should just keep it to themselves?
But his change of heart setting in motion a request from Chairman Grassley, then President Trump ordering that supplemental FBI investigation, limited in scope and lasting no more than a week.
This is ripping the country apart. And the calls I've been getting, and emails and texts, we haven't had a process I think that we can be proud of.
As the day went on, key undecided senators showing support for Flake's plan, including Democrat Joe Manchin and Republicans Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski.
I think it was a good step today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the FBI has less than a week to investigate Christine Blasey Ford's claims, including details offered in her testimony that could be checked easily, like her memory of seeing Kavanaugh's classmate Mark Judge at a local supermarket shortly after the alleged attack.
I certainly would feel like I could be more helpful to everyone if I knew the date that he worked at the Safeway so that I could give a more specific date of the assault.
That classmate likely of interest to investigators.
And many locals are chiming in on all the political drama. Yesterday, we went to UNLV and talked to some students, and we got some mixed reaction. Some say they think it's wildly disturbing that Kavanaugh is even being considered. Others sounding off saying that this is all just a politically motivated attack and Kavanaugh should be confirmed. But there are some who see arguments on both sides.
It's important to make sure we understand who the person is that's being nominated and whether they should be nominated or not. Part of me is also a little concerned that the confirmation is becoming more about problems in the person's past rather than like their judicial history.
Nevada Senators Dean Heller and Catherine Cortez Masto also commented on the FBI probe. Heller says he hopes other senators will support Kavanaugh's nomination once that investigation is over. Cortez Masto says she supports the investigation and says there should be a thorough background check on Kavanaugh. Well, cell phone video captures Metro Police chasing carjacking suspects through a Henderson park as youth soccer teams practice. Two suspects are in custody, but the community is still stunned. Brian Estes was at that park for his brother's practice. He posted this video on Facebook you see there where you can clearly see kids on the soccer field while that chase is going on. Now, we showed Brian's video to parents at Cactus Wren Park Friday evening where dozens of kids were practicing again.
Insane. People were crazy. The kids were practicing right there, and everyone got out the way. Luckily, no one got hurt.
Now, some parents say they were concerned, but they believe this was just a rare freak occurrence. Crazy video for sure. Well, Henderson police have released body camera videos from 2 separate officer-involved shootings, both happening earlier this month. 13 Action News anchor Todd Quinones gives us a look.
Police, I want to start watch stuff now, do it now! A woman screams and police start shooting. Officers shooting and killing a man who they say charged at them. Police say that he was armed with a box cutter. This shooting happened September 13th at a home right near Whitney Ranch Drive in Patrick. The woman injured, but expected to survive. And chaos on Auto Show Drive. Henderson police shooting and killing a man Saturday they say was behind a violent robbery. This all started with a chase, but ended in gunfire.
Drop it!
Drop it! The suspect pronounced dead at the scene.
That was Todd Quinones reporting there. There have been 3 officer-involved shootings in Henderson this year, and investigations continue into these recent shootings. Well, caught on camera, police say a man broke into a local Petland store and stole 2 puppies. Now, this happened at their Boca Park location yesterday morning. A Pomeranian and a German Shepherd were taken. The owner is especially concerned for the Pomeranian. Now, you're looking at a picture of those pups. The Pomeranian only weighs 2 pounds and needs proper care. That suspect is still on the run this morning. Here's another good look at him. Take a look right there. And if you have any information, call police right away. Well, the man behind the crosses placed at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign is back to mark the one year since the 1 October tragedy. Greg Zanis made 58 crosses for the victims after the shooting last year, and yesterday Zanis brought those crosses to the landmark.
A year is a really tough time because they've gone through every birthday without their loved one. They've gone through the holidays without them.
Now, he plans to hold a 58-hour vigil starting tomorrow to honor the lives lost. Well, a celebration of life for Robin Leach, complete with champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Family and friends gathered at the Palazzo Theater last night to celebrate the TV star. Leach passed away in August at the age of 76. He rose to fame as the host of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Leach moved to Las Vegas in 1999 and was very active in our community. Well, happening today, the very last cars that were personally owned by the late Burt Reynolds will go up for auction right here in Las Vegas. Among those vehicles, a recreation of the 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am that was used in Smokey and the Bandit. Reynolds' loved ones will be at this event to celebrate the actor's legacy. That auction is happening at Mandalay Bay. Reynolds died earlier this month at age 82 from cardiac arrest. Well, new CCSD Superintendent Dr. Jesus Jara is holding another Java with Jara community discussion. The goal is to meet with parents across the district about issues that they're concerned about. The next one is happening on Tuesday, October 2nd at 6 p.m. at the library inside Valley High School. That's near Vegas Valley Drive and Eastern. And speaking of Java, today is National Coffee Day, and several retailers will be serving up some deals. Over at Krispy Kreme, you can get a free cup of Joe, any size, no purchase necessary. And at McDonald's, you can get a large McCafe for just a penny when you purchase one at full price. Now, that deal lasts through tomorrow. And Dunkin' is offering a buy one, get one free deal. For a list of other deals, just head on over to our website at ktnv.com. Well, good morning, everyone. Well, how does a free wedding sound? Well, if you're in the military, you're in luck. Coming up, we'll let you know how you can win a free ceremony.
And outside, wind's picking up big time. We're going to call it windy this afternoon with gusts up to 35 miles an hour. Temperatures on the way down. They're going to go down way more next week, though. We're going to take a look at that forecast.
Welcome back. Well, a lucky military couple could win a free wedding or a vow renewal ceremony. It's all part of the second annual Las Vegas Marries the Military. The application period ends tomorrow. All ceremonies will take place November 8th. Couples just need to apply online with a 30 to 60-second video. It's open to all members of the armed forces, including active duty, National Guard, reserves, retired, and veterans. Only one member from each couple needs to be an armed forces member. A group reception will follow the day-long activities. We have more details at ktnv.com.
What a great
Yeah, pretty
thing.
cool. And supporting the military like that, you know.
Yeah.
All-American military
Really
and
is.
Vegas weddings, you know.
Very much.
Yes.
You know, summer done with, as I mentioned earlier. But hey, it's the rain that's moving in. That's kind of the big change.
We need it, though. We haven't had rain in quite a while.
It's been so dry recently, so it'll be a nice change out there by early next week. Taking a look at your satellite now, there's no rain to talk about this weekend. We will be dry. The only thing is today the winds are going to pick up. But this is Hurricane Rosa down to the south. You can see the storm is still about 1,100 miles away from Las Vegas, not even close to us. But it was a major Category 4 storm yesterday. It is now a Category 2. This storm is moving off to the north, and this storm will impact the desert southwest by early next week. So here's the latest on Rosa. Category 2 storm sitting far from us. Winds at 100 miles an hour. That's down about 40 since yesterday morning. Gusts up to 120. The storm is still going to maintain a hurricane strength for a while. But let's take a look at where the storm is moving, and look at this. It is moving straight for pretty much the desert southwest. Eyeing it, but it's going to weaken big time. So it's not the winds that we're worried about. It's the amount of rain that could fall with this storm. You heard of Florence and what it did to North Carolina. Well, we're not talking that much rain, but we can't handle much rainfall in the desert southwest. For a couple inches could bring major flooding to a lot of areas, and that's what we're kind of anticipating with this. So with that, flash flood watches in effect Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because of this. We could start the rain late Monday and last through Wednesday, but I think most of the heavier rain will start late Monday into Tuesday afternoon and then start to taper off, but it's going to be wet even after that, just not constant and heavy rain. But it's still a little early. It's only Saturday morning. We're going to have to fine tune that a little bit more to understand what the storm is going to bring and how much rain it could bring as well. 81 degrees right now in Las Vegas. 71 in Pahrump. Somewhat mild this morning. Gusts up to 35 today, down to 25 Sunday, Monday, then picking that up to about 30 on Tuesday. We have to fine tune the gusts as well as Rosa gets a little bit closer. Today, the main gusts are going to be in the afternoon between 1 and 6 o'clock. Then we'll start to lose some of the winds, but still keep it somewhat breezy overnight tonight. Those temperatures today, not as warm as yesterday's 100. Yes, 100. 95 days at 100 this year. I think we're done with them, though. That I'm pretty much sure of. 95 in Spring Valley, 96 in Anthem today. So yeah, a little warm. Overnight lows tonight dropping down into the mid 70s to upper 60s in some areas. 68 degrees for Summerlin, 94 on Sunday. Still warm. We should be in the upper 80s. A little breezy out there, but plenty of sunshine still. Clouds will be increasing late in the day on Sunday. There's that chance of rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with Rosa moving in. Your winds will be around. We'll lose the winds on Wednesday, but look at your numbers. We're talking highs in the lower 80s. Some models are keeping us in the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. It's going to be pretty nice temperature-wise, just with the rainfall. You might not spend a lot of time out there. Overnight lows will drop in the 60s and a slight warm-up possibly by the end of the week, but some models actually want to keep us in the low 80s even on Thursday, Friday with the dry weather around. So actually, after the rain moves out here, weather is looking pretty nice next week.
Hey, we'll take it. Thanks, Dan. Well, incredible new video shows the moment a tsunami slams into Palu, Indonesia after being hit by a 7.5 quake. People watching the tsunami eventually turn and run. At least 48 people have died and hundreds of others have been injured following that initial quake. Officials say that thousands of homes have been destroyed, bridges have collapsed, and some cities are still cut off from electricity. Well, a community is heartbroken about a tragic ending to the search for a missing North Carolina boy with autism. Police think they have found that boy's body. Officials found a body in a shallow creek about a mile from the park where 6-year-old Maddox Rich had disappeared from last weekend. The boy's father says he ran off and he couldn't keep up with him because of a medical condition that makes it difficult to run.
I feel guilt for letting him get so far ahead of me before I started running after him.
Just awful, and police are still investigating what happened and say they have not yet determined if this was an accident or a crime. Well, straight ahead, new home nightmare. Authorities playing the blame game while homeowners are falling through the cracks. Darcy Spears investigates. You're watching Good Morning Las Vegas. We'll be right back. Their dream home, but a young family says the near $500,000 house they bought turned into a nightmare. When Chief Investigator Darcy Spears tried to find out who's supposed to provide oversight, she found authorities playing the blame game while homeowners are falling through the cracks.
This may look like an unfinished home that's still under construction, but it was finished. In fact, the family moved in, and only after living here for a few weeks did they notice problems literally coming out of the woodwork.
And so we decided, hey, let's root down here. Let's buy our dream home.
Tam Gonzalez, her wife Ashley, and their daughters were dancing for joy when they moved into their new Henderson home in the Inspirada neighborhood.
We know that we can just go right outside, play on the soccer field.
An experienced real estate professional, Tam walked the home many times herself, and because it was brand new, it was permitted and inspected by the city of Henderson as it was built.
It was a pristine home. We were so excited.
The excitement didn't last long.
When did you start noticing it was not perfect?
When we started hanging up pictures. So the first couple pictures, I'm like, well, the frame is crooked, of course, you know? And then it was, every one was crooked. And then we started noticing certain walls, you know, bowed and sloped out.
Tam called the builder Party Homes.
So they came over, started looking at them, measuring them. They started opening things up. And the more they opened up, then they opened up other places. And it got to the point where there was drywall that had been opened up in every single room and every bathroom of the home.
Exposing problems down to the framing. Pardee started making fixes, shaving down beams, plugging holes with drywall mud.
And then over here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shims.
And using shims to shore up wood. The family had to pack up and move out for the repairs, but they never returned because Tam claims the fixes led to even bigger problems.
Just look at this wood. It's half gone.
You're saying it looks like a beaver chewed this up.
It looks like a beaver chewed it up.
Tam hired an independent structural engineer whose 36-page report details dozens of construction defects, from poor quality lumber that splinters to the touch.
You can
pick it apart.
The wood apart.
Yeah.
It's like toothpicks.
To crooked and insecure walls, to doors that don't seal. And Tam's engineer isn't the only expert who sees problems. She used her cell phone to record the scene when an investigator from the Nevada State Contractors Board responded to her complaint. About Party Homes, the investigator said,
"It's a concern to us, and they're going to have to address it."
And as for the city of Henderson's building inspection,
I can see clearly that it shouldn't have been passed. You're right.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
It seems like already there's a lot of finger pointing between the people involved in building and selling this house, and you're caught in the middle.
And that's been the case the whole time, finger pointing. Hello. Welcome in.
Tam's neighbors say it's not just her home.
Some of the structural issues in some of these other photos.
A group who came to see what's behind her walls told us their Party Homes have problems too.
At the house next door, a sinkhole opened up underneath the foundation, leaving neighbors to question the stability of the very soil these homes are built on.
Party says there's no problem with the soil. After we began investigating, they fixed the sinkhole and will be making more repairs to an interior wall. As for Tam's family,
yeah, I empathize with them.
Carlos Zuluaga is the man in charge of construction at Party Homes.
There is some things that are out of plumb, out of square, all things that can be fixed.
He admits he's not happy with Tam's house.
But there definitely is issues there that are just way below our standards, and we want to make them right.
And he says Pardee is offering the family 3 options.
One is repairing the home, one is repurchase, and the third is mediation, which is where I'm hoping that we're leading to right now.
Why did it get to the point where they were allowed to move into that house?
Really can't give you a clear answer on that. We're working towards a solution right now to not let this happen ever again.
We tried to question the city of Henderson about their role in all this, but no one.
Hello, this message is for Dan Shaw.
From Councilman Dan Shaw.
Now let's see if we can get the mayor on the phone.
To Mayor Deborah March would talk to us on camera. The city did provide a statement saying the house passed the city's inspections for adherence to building and fire codes at the time it was built, and the city no longer has authority or jurisdiction on the property. Workmanship issues that the homeowner has with the house are the responsibility of the home builder, Party Homes. The Contractors Board says there's nothing they can do at this point either.
And due to the fact that the work was still ongoing, the contractor was attempting to address the issues and the concerns of the homeowner. We did not validate any issues.
Paul Rosario is Director of Investigations.
How do you juggle the impact it has on people's lives with the, well, let's just let the contractor do what they want to do?
Right, and again, it's not a good situation for anyone. I'm sure, I know the contractor's attempting to remedy the situation. The homeowners has their needs, their family that they can, take care of.
A family who feels they've been left to live in limbo, falling through the cracks of the system. We have more from Party Homes and the City of Henderson's full statement on our website at ktnv.com. And I should note that we continue to hear from other homeowners who say Party needs to repair their houses also. Darcy Spears, 13 Action News.
Well, good morning, Las Vegas. Still ahead this morning, prompted to log into Facebook. Well, don't take it lightly. A major breach, and the hackers are after much more than likes. Plus, pot on a plane, the airport that now says you can bring it with you, and the warning for travelers.
Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Right now on Good Morning Las Vegas, the 1-year mark since 1 October is fast approaching. We've got a list of ways you can honor the victims. When you ask, we investigate. Valley neighbors are frustrated with drivers using a sidewalk to get around roadblocks. Major sticker shock for a Valley teen. What caused a single trip home to cost hundreds of dollars. Good morning, Las Vegas. I'm Tom George. We want to head over to 13 First Alert meteorologist Dan Bronis, who's telling us that summer may finally actually be over.
Yeah, it looks like it definitely is coming to an end quite quickly as well. So some good news there. Still summer-like today, though. Don't fool yourself. Now, today, the only issue is the winds. They're going to pick up. Valley View looking pretty nice and calm out there right now. Not much of a breeze, but that's all going to change. Temperatures mainly into the 80s and 70s. A somewhat warmer start to the day today, thanks to some high clouds that pushed in. We expected temperatures to be a little bit milder tonight than what we woke up to the last couple of mornings. Hey, cooler up on the mountain, 61 degrees right now, fall-like up there, but you're going to see much cooler overnight lows coming up. There's your winds picking up anywhere from 15 to 20 miles an hour this afternoon. Gusts could be as high as 35, and we're going to watch those temperatures once again spike into the upper 90s today. Going to be a little bit warm this afternoon. We can watch temperatures drop in the mid-90s by tomorrow, but then that's when things change. We're talking 80s and possibly highs. Get this, in the 70s moving into Las Vegas. That's all due to rain. We're going to take a look at what day we could start seeing rainfall here in Las Vegas.
70s sounded pretty good. Thanks, Dan. Well, happening this morning, the Vegas Strong Run begins at 9 a.m. It starts at the Las Vegas Harley-Davidson dealership. That's south of Mandalay Bay on Las Vegas Boulevard. The run will go to the Henderson and Red Rock Harley-Davidson locations. Registration starts at 7 a.m. and there will be an after party following the run. Well, the Vegas Golden Knights will be spending 1 October with the community. Players and team personnel will make stops at different locations around the valley. The day includes visiting the UMC Memorial Blood Drive at the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, a stop at Community Ambulance where they'll give out medals to medical team members to honor their courage and care for patients. There's also a meeting with employees at Mandalay Bay. They will also go to different dispatch and command centers in the valley. And 13 Action News anchors Todd Quinones and Trisha Keene will be anchoring live from the Healing Garden dedication ceremony on Monday. Join us for our 1 October anniversary special, Vegas Stronger, a Beacon of Hope. That starts at 6:30 p.m. on Monday. It'll feature stories of hope and healing 1 year after our city's darkest day. And we have a full list of all the events that will be taking place on 1 October on our website. Just head on over to ktnv.com/news. Well, we now have a better idea of what the county plans to do on a road that goes nowhere. People are worried about drivers who are making their own road driving onto a sidewalk in the South Valley. 13 investigative reporter Joe Bartels walks us through the problem and neighbors' worries near Star and Gillespie.
That is their big concern, is safety. There are barricades here on Gillespie, but neighbors say there's just enough space for vehicles to get around.
I have written here, please help us, because you can see the tire tracks right over here.
It's a message Maria Bertoli hopes someone in charge will hear loud and clear. She's lived in the booming South Valley for a couple of years, and with the growth, there's been growing pains.
Somebody's gonna get eventually hit, or they're gonna hit that wall over there because there isn't so much room for the vehicle to come through.
Maria says for a while Gillespie Street was just dirt and drivers used it to navigate around busier streets like Las Vegas Boulevard or Bermuda. That was until these concrete barricades and reflectors went up. Neighbors say some GPS navigation apps show the road still goes through and drivers are forcing the issue.
Right now the vehicles, if they do go through, ride up on the curb.
And in this neighborhood, a lot of people walk their dogs. They're out walking in the evening.
Making things more dangerous, Maria says cross-country runners from nearby Liberty High School take the path almost daily, prompting even more worries. 13 Action News searched county records and found the undeveloped land is owned by the United States of America and zoned as rural estates. Translation, the federal government will have to sell the land in order for a developer to come in and for the road to be finished. Neighbors say they would eventually like to see these barricades come down and for Gillespie to go all the way through to that next neighborhood. Reporting in the South Valley, Joe Bartels, 13 Action News.
The travelers at Los Angeles' LAX are now allowed to carry marijuana, but the TSA says it's still a crime, and they will turn you over to airport police. California legalized marijuana back in January. Police say small amounts may now be carried into the airport, but they warn that pot possession is still a federal crime. It's not clear yet if anyone will be prosecuted for it. Well, phone numbers, names, your date of birth, all compromised. Facebook apologizing after a massive data breach. 50 million users with their information hacked. They say the issue was discovered earlier this week. The breach exploited Facebook's View As feature, which lets users view their page the way others would see it. Exploiting that feature gave attackers the ability to potentially take control of the accounts.
It's really incumbent for Facebook, obviously, to continue to work on better security. But it's also incumbent on you as the individual to protect your Facebook account and literally all of your social media accounts.
Good advice there, and Facebook says the problem has been fixed and reported to the FBI. They're investigating who's behind that hack. It's not clear yet if that exposed user information was actually accessed. Well, life wasn't so beautiful for people trying to leave last weekend's Life is Beautiful festival in downtown Las Vegas.
Are you kidding? That's highway robbery. I will never use them again.
Christina Vendetti and her friends attended the festival. Lyft charged her parents $60 to get her there, which they say wasn't bad. But the problem was when Christina was ready to come home to Henderson, Lyft wanted to charge $216. Her parents say they had no choice but to pay. Of course, with big events, Uber and Lyft sometimes charge more because demand is high. But Christina's parents say they plan on disputing that credit card charge. Well, tickets for EDC Las Vegas 2019 are now on sale. 3-day general admission tickets start at $319. Layaway plans are also available. It requires a $40 deposit, then 7 payments of $53. The festival takes place May 17th through the 19th at the Speedway. Well, we continue our call for all Vegas singers. Now's your chance to be in the spotlight. We're on a mission to find one talented performer to send to a West Coast judge city to compete for a spot on American Idol. Enter to win on our website, ktnv.com/13VegasIdol. The 13 Vegas Idol contest ends October 5th. It's sponsored in part by Star Nursery and Stoney's Rockin' Country. And don't forget to watch Season 2 of American Idol in 2019 right here on ABC. Well, preseason continued last night at the T-Mobile Arena. The Golden Knights taking care of business at home, defeating the LA Kings 2-0. Their final preseason game is tomorrow. The regular season starts on Thursday at home against the Philadelphia Flyers. Well, good morning, everyone. Well, coming up, they're elegant, they're everywhere. But this morning, those glass shower doors could be a freak accident waiting to happen. You're watching Good Morning Las Vegas. We'll be right back. Well, you may have seen stories floating around online about how marijuana can help you lose weight. Marijuana is usually associated with getting the munchies, right? Well, now local doctors have some advice. Dr. Dahlia Wax says marijuana is a plant, obviously, so there's not just one strain.
You have the sativa and you have the indica, and then you have hybrids. And so sativa versus indica, there's a lot of differences.
And the doctor says those different strains have a different impact. One could make you more relaxed, another more active. She said it also varies from person to person. Right now, the doctor says there is no medical data to determine which strains could lead to weight loss.
So somebody smoking marijuana to not eat, to lose weight, is something no doctor will ever recommend. Until we have hard data, we're not going to recommend it.
Studies have shown that marijuana helps with pain, seizures, and anxiety, but until the studies are done, we're going to have to lose weight the old-fashioned way. Interesting stuff. Well, 39 million Americans get migraines, including 4 million who get them every day. Well, now there's some good news. The FDA has approved a third migraine drug called Emgality. It's made by Eli Lilly, and this is their commercial. According to Bloomberg, the company says people with insurance can get it for really cheap or free for about a year. It says during that time, Eli Lilly will negotiate costs with insurance companies. From Contact 13 now, you need to be aware of 2 big vehicle recalls that could make it more dangerous to drive. Honda announced both of those recalls yesterday. First, it's recalling another 1.4 million cars to replace Takata airbag inflators. Honda will contact you if your car is part of that recall. The other recall is for people with 2018 Accords and 2019 Insight hybrid cars. Honda's recalling about 232,000 of those because the software in the rear camera display is malfunctioning. It doesn't show the images correctly in the camera. A woman sharing a frightening story about a bizarre accident that could happen to any one of us. She was taking a shower at a hotel in Newport Beach, California, when the glass door exploded. Eileen Frere reports.
Jean Trott, a yoga instructor visiting California from Raleigh, North Carolina. Her trip interrupted by injuries suffered in her hotel bathroom.
It was very loud. It was an instantaneous boom.
This 67-year-old says the boom was the glass shower door suddenly shattering, sending glass shards flying.
It was surreal.
Trott says her husband and son helped her out of the bathroom.
I was bleeding pretty profusely, and so I'm thinking I have to get to the hospital quickly.
Trott says it took medical staff several hours to remove the glass shards. She required 30 stitches. She says the incident happened at the Hyatt Regency John Wayne Airport in Newport Beach last Sunday morning.
They were shocked. They had no idea something like this could happen.
In fact, glass shower doors shattering for no apparent reason, even in homes, is not unheard of. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, the hazard sent 2,300 people to ERs across the U.S. between 2012 and 2016. The commission says the spontaneous breakage can be caused by scratches, installation error, or other factors because the surface of tempered glass is under pressure. So far, what caused the door to suddenly shatter is not known. In a statement, the general manager of the hotel says when they learned of the incident, they immediately contacted the shower door manufacturer. The hotel GM says they're conducting a thorough investigation on the product in all of our guest rooms in an effort to determine the cause and prevent another incident from occurring in the future. Trott says she's worried about scarring and possible nerve damage. She's now staying at a different hotel, one with shower curtains instead of glass.
There's no way I would get in another glass shower after what happened.
Trott says she has glass shower doors at home. She plans to put thin safety film on them to keep glass shards from flying if the door happens to break. In Newport Beach, Eileen Frere, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Pretty scary stuff. Well, straight ahead, a businesswoman in Maine is raising some eyebrows. It's not just because of the name of her products, but how they're made.
And outside, temperatures getting hot today. Upper 90s expected, but the winds are going to be the bigger story. We're going to go through your wind forecast and show you what Hurricane Rosa is going to do to our forecast. Coming up in your 13th or so forecast. Well, Tom Hanks will be your neighbor. The first picture of the actor as Mr. Rogers has been released. Hanks is sporting the trademark cardigan and sneakers that the host wore at the beginning of each episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The movie will be released next October, so still have about a year.
He's got the look down already.
He
got
really
the cardigan
does.
And everything. I used to watch that show when I was a kid, and Mr. Rogers is always such a great role model. And if there's anyone that can step into that role, I feel like it's Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like everybody's dad.
Well, Tom Hanks is one of the best actors. He could probably
Absolutely.
do anything.
Yeah. All right, well, also trending right now, unique doesn't really cut it. A business in Maine getting a lot of attention for, well, its creativity. It's called Turdy Works, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The woman who runs the company making art from, well, the stuff that moose leave behind.
Everyone goes to the bathroom, so everyone can relate to that. For example, the first thing that we make now, instead of a cuckoo clock, see, this is a poo-poo clock. And what we did see is we took them turds and we crammed them in between the number there, so that's 130, 230, 330.
Mary says she enjoys tracking the moose, and since going viral, she doesn't know what her next local stop will be, but she's upping her game with a new Turdy Works. Like the poo-poo clock, I gotta give her that. That's pretty good.
You know, it's just one of those things you expect to see in these rural areas, just these unique shops, and that is quite unique.
But the crazy thing is there's a market for that though. She's obviously in business. Somebody's buying it. All right, well, new images show what a woman claims are bed bug bites. She says she got them while flying from Kansas City to England. The woman was flying on American Airlines and says her seat was infested with bugs. American Airlines sent the woman a $200 voucher as, quote, a gesture of goodwill. Yeah, I guess she deserved it. A spokesperson says no other customers complained of bed bugs. I've never heard of it on a plane.
You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, you know, those bed bugs would probably love that plane.
You know, so they say good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs. I mean, but on a cross-country flight though, you would never think of that.
You would never think it, but look at all the seats and those cushions they could live in.
For international flight though, I feel like $200 wasn't enough for that. You know, they should have comped her whole flight.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Definitely not. All right, well, you know, looking outside right now this morning, Tom, still dark. The sun will come up for another hour, a little bit less. But temperatures are going to start increasing. It's still going to be a warm day today, and we're starting off the day on a warm note. 81 degrees right now in Las Vegas, 79 North Las Vegas. Hey, you know what? If you were out on the outskirts of town or away from Las Vegas, it is 60 right now in Moapa, 71 Pahrump, so definitely a little bit cooler, awfully nice actually in some areas. We are going to watch our overnight lows much cooler than where we're sitting right now. And actually our daytime highs coming up could actually be cooler than our low this morning. Yeah, big changes moving into Las Vegas. Winds are not too bad right now, light winds, but we are going to watch these numbers ramp up into the afternoon. It's going to be quite windy out there from the southwest. Nothing too bad. You probably won't have to cancel outdoor plans, but you're going to have to secure your items because the winds are going to be around. All right, so high pressure, yeah. This is the story of September, high pressure. We haven't seen anything move in other than high pressure all month long. Well, that's about to change. Low pressure off to our west is going to move far enough south in the Pacific that it's going to start to make Rosa move a little bit closer to the desert southwest. As that happens, the moisture from it is going to spill on over into southern Nevada, Arizona, southern California as well by Monday. This is really going to pick up our rain chances, especially late Monday into Tuesday. Heavier rain possible throughout the day Tuesday as that low moves a little bit closer, gives us enough energy, gives us enough lift that we could see a few thunderstorms actually out there as well. By Wednesday, we start to lose some of that moisture, but we'll keep some of those rain chances around through early Thursday. And then it looks like this low pressure system is just going to sit across the west as we move into next week. And so the good news is we're going to substitute high pressure for low pressure, and it looks like it might stay a while, so our temperatures actually do not increase after Rosa moves out of here. Here's your rainfall potential. This is still a couple days away. This will be fine too, but some areas could see across southern Nevada 1.5 inches of rain. We all know that's going to bring flooding. Anytime we get 1/2 inch of rain or more over a long period of time, saturates the ground enough. But some areas across central Arizona, close enough to us, could see over 2.5 inches. Some models actually indicate 5 to 6 inches of rain in some higher elevations. So heavy flooding, very possible across Arizona as the storm moves in. 69 degrees on the mountain today, 71 tomorrow. A lot of sunshine. Winds are going to be around both days, but stronger today with gusts up the mountain up to say at 40, 45 miles an hour possible. Today's forecast, still warm though, 90s with those winds around in all neighborhoods. Overnight lows tonight dropping down into the mid to lower 70s. A little bit cooler this morning or tomorrow morning than this morning because we shouldn't have the clouds around, but still it might be a little warmer because of those winds. Your daytime highs tomorrow cooler, 94 degrees expected, so still above that average. We should be in the 80s. Winds will be around over the next couple of afternoons because of Rosa, so just expect some breezes, especially by Tuesday again as winds might pick up a little bit. But look at your numbers, 87 on Monday, 81 on Tuesday. Right now, that's the forecast. But we all know with the clouds around, the rain, we might stay cooler. Overnight lows are going to drop into the mid-60s, if not a little bit cooler as well. We're going to have to fine-tune these numbers. These are not set at all as Rosa moves in. But as I mentioned, we may not warm up a whole lot even by the end of the week. Mid-80s with drier weather. Hey, that sounds pretty nice for the Las Vegas Valley.
Hey, beautiful day in the neighborhood, as Mr. Rogers would say. Well, straight ahead, an update to a major safety concern at a Valley school, and parents are scared for students walking nearby. Well, now to the 13 Action News update. Back in May, we told you about a safety concern for students and parents at Mathis Elementary. School beacons were not turned on where the children crossed the street. Even with crossing guards, drivers were still careless. But as 13 Action News reporter Yasmin Hassan reports, those beacons are now back on.
As soon as we went out to Mathis Elementary, we saw the problem firsthand.
Perfect example.
Parents say every single day drivers are just careless around their kids, and even though there are crossing guards in place, it's just not enough.
I walk my daughter and her best friend to school every day, and we're trying to be safe, and they build these lights, they spend all the money, and they don't turn them on.
One of the big concerns parents have is it's not just the elementary school here on Arville. Down at this intersection, we have multiple restaurants, and then this entire street is blocks and blocks of businesses. So this is a very heavily traveled area. So we wanted to know, why aren't these lights working? We started with the school district. We were told the lights were installed a couple of months back, and it was up to the county to take over. Then the county told us that crews were waiting on the electricity to be turned on. But then NV Energy told us they were waiting on the county to approve the plan. So the end of the school year came and went with all of this confusion, but we stayed on top of the issue. And now the lights are turned on for the start of the school year.
These are kids here, keep that in mind. And I understand, everybody's on a time-consuming schedule, but, around the school, I think you should have a little bit more consideration.
Yasmin Hassan, 13 Action News.
Good to see those results. Thanks, Yasmin. Well, the time now 5:58. We've got another full hour of news coming up in just a few minutes. You're watching Good Morning Las Vegas. We'll be right back on this Saturday morning.